everyone, and a warm welcome to Ericsson at Mobile World Congress 2015. A very special welcome to all of you that have come and joined us in our hall this morning, but also welcome to all of you that are joining us through the webcast. We will start this morning with a presentation from our President and CEO Hans Westberg, followed by a Q&A session. So, without further ado, let's get started. Hans Westberg.
Thank you and good morning, and great to have you in the Ericsson Hall. Exciting next 3 days when we're going to have a lot of our customers and our partners here. A lot of things has happened the last couple of years. I mean, I have now been, this is my 6th Mobile World Congress as CEO, and I can still remember the first one, what we were showing, what type of things we were providing to the market, and how quickly everything has changed for us. But you can also think about the last 12 months and reflect a little bit around what has happened in the last 12 months. A couple of things that has been staggering. We have now 2.9 billion mobile broadband subscriptions in the world. That's basically adding the last billion in less than 2 years. The first billion of mobile broadband subscriptions took 5 years. We just see an enormous quickly growth in the mobile broadband subscriptions. So what is everybody doing with the mobile broadband? Of course, they're using the mobile broadband for viewing a lot of video. And it's not strange that when we do our consumer lab researches, we see that the ages between 16 and 45 years old, they really want to see streamed TV, streamed video. That's really how they want to see it instead of traditional TV. So that has also happened in this year. Another thing that we talk a lot about is, of course, cloud. And what's happening in cloud and how that is transforming our industry. We have invested since 2010 in our long journey in the virtualization, but not only that. Last year we made acquisition in the cloud area in companies like Apsera, Metriatech, Sentia, Fabrics, all of them cloud enabled, so we're really supporting our cloud transformation as a company. And last year when I was standing here, we didn't have a business unit that was IP and cloud, so we're really seeing that opportunity to change. That's what's happening in 12 months. And lastly, 5G is not here, but a lot of things are happening in 5G. Our test bed has now showed 5 gigabit per second. The requirements are pretty well defined and we're working according to them. 100 times quicker speeds, much lower latency, much better power consumption or battery consumption, and of course also enabling a lot of devices. And I see that's happening right now in the 5G, and we have our 5G test bed here and the researchers telling you how we want to do that. That's what's happening in the last 12 months in this industry. And then if you think where we are, and we are very close to an inflection point in the whole industry. I've talked a lot about the network society the last 5 years here. And the network society, which means anything that benefits from being connected will be connected. And we are into the 5th technology revolution. And the technology revolution has the 2 phases of the installment phase and the deployment phase. I think we can clearly declare that we have passed the inflection point and are into the deployment phase. When we're going to use the technology that was once deployed in a totally different way. And innovation will be totally different. We deployed all of that for one simple reason, was voice and SMS, and carrying that type of things in the networks. The only thing we know for sure, voice will be the smallest service in the networks going forward. And we want to have so many other things coming in to the networks. And that creates new logics in the networks. And new logics for industries. Rethinking how they do business. Based on 3 fundamentals that we see happening. The mobility, the broadband and the cloud can basically transform any industry and create new type of business logics. And that's where we are right now, where we see industries starting to get transformed by ICT in many senses. There are 3 reasons for seeing industries doing a transformation. One is Efficiency, products becoming services. Think about the music industry, went from the printed CDs to actually make digital delivery. Or think about Tesla, that actually instead of recalling all the cars, they can download software in the cars. What a tremendous efficiency we're getting for the industry logic to change in the network society. Secondly, new business models. Suddenly you can sell in a different way, you can reinvent business models, and that would go for any industry. If it's healthcare, if it's transport, if it's automotive, can rethink them. And one of the reasons is, of course, the customer intimacy you get when everything is data enabled. You can be together with your customer before, during, and after a purchase, and you can get instant feedback. Those are the three reasons that we see now all industry changing and transforming. And as you see in our hall, we are now many of our partners here from the auto industry, from the car industry, from the maritime industry, from Internet of Things. All of them are using the networks in order to transform and support industries. And that's what we see in front of us. That transformation is happening outside. So what is happening inside our industry? I've talked about the model for carriers now for a couple of years, what's happening. And of course, we see a clear segmentation of our customer base. We see certain customers focusing much more on the network side. We call them network developers. On the other extreme, we see the service creators. The service creators definitely are focusing a lot on the network. They're transforming the IT in order to be in new industries. They can go into healthcare, home surveillance, Internet of Things. The networks can be used for totally different things and that it was planned for. And it's not one model that is right. The most important is that every carrier will choose their way of doing it with their assets and their situation. But we have never seen in this industry a segmentation of carriers, but this is what's happening. On the other hand, you can see the inverted model, of course, where the implosion of the internet and the telecoms come together, where you have the service producers that are doing a service. It could be a Spotify working on top of the networks together with carriers, or you can see the more holistic service providers that we call the service platform developers. That would be an Apple or a Facebook, that not only have an app, they also have their customer intimacy. This is the landscape we're going into the next 5 years, where our customers, the operators, as well as the ones coming into this industry, are transforming using the mobility, broadband, and the cloud. So the key question is, of course, how are we becoming relevant as a company, Ericsson? What are we doing to become very relevant for that? We're working in 3 streams, you can say. Networks. Everyone that's going to get into the industry need a network. They have demands on the network, you're going to use the network. If you go into the data world, you need to have an IT transformation. And finally, revenue and innovation. Revenue growth and innovation are very integral parts of it. So when we think about what we are launching here today, we're thinking out from these different 3 areas. And I will start with the network evolution and talk a little bit about the key launches that we're doing this year based on our strength as a company. Let me start with what we launched in CES earlier this year, LAA, Unlicensed LTE, or Unlicensed Spectrum LTE. This is a way actually to make the LTE and the consumer experience going much broader, and of course supporting our carriers to see that they have a contiguous consumer experience. But it also increased the speed dramatically indoor by using the unlicensed spectrum for LTE. This in combination, of course, we will see already this year, we're going to see trials already this year. Our product during the year will come out with this type of feature, especially the small cells in 2015. The other thing which we're launching that we're extremely proud of is our new radio system, the Ericsson radio system. And I have a subset of the things coming up here. This is the first time since 2008 we come out with a new platform. And it's a full system that hangs together from the start to the end. And of course, we have the baseband that we are now coming out with. It's the most powerful baseband in the industry. The capacity is much higher. It handles TDD, FDD, 3G at the same time. It's a multi-band, enormously powerful. And it's using the same operating system for all our things here. Here we have a Pico and we have the radio. The radio, the unique with this radio is it has 50% lower power consumption, the lowest in the industry by far. And the other thing is that the way of installing it is totally different. It goes on rails, so you can just lift it off, on and off. And the weight is half of what we had before on our radio portfolio. This will reduce our installation time basically from hours to minutes. And of course, reducing the total cost of ownership for our customers. And all this hangs together in the overall radio system that we're now launching. And this should at least take down the cost of ownership with some 20%. And the power and the weight are two very important. Multiband is another. The data growth is enormous. This will handle the future data growth, still reducing weight, still reducing substantially the power consumption. These will be commercial already this year in Q3. The products will start coming out, and it will be built on our radio base station 6000 models, that it is multi-band and multi-frequency, and doing all the things we're doing. The other thing that we're launching is the Router 6000. The Router 6000 is sort of the backhaul. It's here. This is a new router, 6000 series. It's an evolved backhaul that is connected straight to the radio system, hangs together with all other things, the same type of operating systems, and of course software parity, the same type of software in them in order to handle the traffic in a very smart way. Very high performance, and of course this is a router that is adding to our portfolio. That now means that we have a full portfolio of products in the IP area and a complete IP portfolio. So this is really something big we're doing. 2008 was the last time we had a new platform of the radio. Now we have the Ericsson radio system that hangs together all the way. And the last one I haven't talked about is the Mini-Link. Some of you remember 3 years ago I talked about the Mini-Link that was like a handball. Now it's really like a handball because it's much smaller now. So now it's the right size. So this is also a reduction of 50% of the size and the weight, which is just fantastic. What more have we launched in the network area? We are launching our software 15B. Remember what we're doing right now. We have worked for years and years to get parity in our softwares across the full portfolio. The 15B that we're now launching is of course a software that has a couple of features that are very important. App coverage improvement is one feature that's very important in it. It has cloud and NFV support in the software. We have a virtual router coming out based on the router we have up here that is coming out in the network. Unified network management in 15B, and of course integrated basebands, FTD, TDD. We're trying for our customer to lift the full software and all the nodes that we have at the same time. This has required a long work in our R&D engineers to see that everything we're doing hangs together. All the hardware platforms and the software platforms hangs together, and we can lift one software, which is unique. The other thing in the network evolution is what we're launching is the app experience optimization. We have learned that basically 5 apps are driving the majority of all the traffic in the network in the country. But it could be 5 different apps in every country. From that we have learned how we can optimize that. And we can optimize these apps to have a content delivery that is 70% faster. And actually seeing that we can do uploads with an improvement of 50%. Based on real cases all around the world. So this is something we will support the carriers around the world to do much better. This has been a collaboration with leaders like Facebook, Axiata in Indonesia, and many others that we have worked together to put this app experience optimization tool in the hands now of the market. So, if we now talk about the network evolution, let's talk about what we're launching in the IT transformation. Of course, we have a lot of things, but the first thing we're launching in the IT transformation is the digital telco transformation. Remember what I said earlier about different choices carriers can take. They can go into so many new industries, they can choose so many different type of paths for growth. The digital telco transformation is a toolbox. of consultancy, system integration, and our OSS that puts together all that to guide our customers which areas, how to do it when it comes to digital telco. And I can tell you that all carriers all around the world, they are thinking about where to go next based on the strength they have in the market and in the assets. Another thing in the IT is the expert analytics that we're launching also this year, which is the industry first. This is combining real-time information to customer satisfaction for our customers. Basically seeing how you proactively can work with a Net Promoter Score. How you can use the analytics of all the network to both gear the marketing and the network. What actions you need to do, and it's predictive. That's also very much in the IT domain we're doing that. Then if we take the last area of launches we're doing when it comes to innovation and revenue growth. There we have the MDM, the Media Delivery Network, the next release of the software. As I said before, the majority of the traffic in the network is video right now. It's a lot of optimization, and the new release is doing better caching, better optimization, and improving the whole delivery chain of video. That's what we're doing. So those has been the launches, and all of them are in the room. But we also have some new launches that we haven't spoken about yet, that we launched this morning, and I'm excited to do it. And they are related to the Ericsson cloud system. The Ericsson cloud system have many different parts. It's of course hardware, software, and our service engineers. Those are the three pieces we're doing in the cloud. We are now coming with the hyperscale capabilities in our Ericsson cloud system. We have three pillars here. The first one is the Ericsson Secure Cloud Storage, which we have been working on in order to be able our customers to have a safe and guaranteed storage model in the cloud. The other is our acquisition of Apcera and their product Continuum, which actually is building together the cloud, the enterprise cloud, and the telecom cloud, and seeing that you orchestrate all the important features like security, governance of the networks in front of you. The last piece that we're going to announce today is the next generation hardware for data centers. And we call it the Hyperscale Data Center 8000. This should enable our customers to actually get the same type of functionality, experience, technology, operational expertise, as well as economics, like any of the most advanced cloud-based providers. We do this in a partnership with a very distinguished company that we're proud to work together with, and that's Intel. And we base this hardware on the rack scale technology that Intel has taken forward. And for us, this is extremely exciting to change the game in the whole data center industry with this hardware. And I'm extremely proud to have here today with me the CEO of Intel, Brian Krasnich, that will join me here on stage and talk a little bit about this partnership and how we take this data center game changer to the market. Brian, please.
Thank you, Hans.
Good seeing you.
Good seeing you.
Thank you very much. I'll leave the stage to you for a while.
Thank you, everybody, for coming here this morning. As Hans said, the world is truly becoming a network society. And as the world becomes networked, cloud becomes that much more important. And we're really excited to be here this morning with Ericsson to talk about our relationship and the products they're launching here with their cloud data center. It's wonderful to see really two great companies, Ericsson and Intel, pooling our innovation and engineering resources to really, what I believe, produce a world-class product that Hans is announcing here this morning. What's really exciting is to see what Ericsson brings, which is years of telecom experience, expertise, and bringing that to the cloud and to the data center now. And we're excited to have this partnership and to grow from here. Intel, as you know, has a long history in the data center. And we've been building data center products now for decades. We're proud that Ericsson, with this new generation of data center hardware, is based on Intel's rack scale architecture, which we believe brings real innovation standardization, and performance to the data center. This solution will allow the flexibility to disaggregate and pool computing and storage and network resources and enable really a hyperscale cloud environment. This is foundational, we believe, for our common goal to really transform the cloud, to provide faster deployment of cloud services, to provide faster time to revenue for cloud providers, and to lower the total cost of ownership for anybody going into the cloud business. And that's a journey that's been based on a continued collaboration and teamwork between our two companies. And it's not just in the hardware. You'll see the hardware out there today, but I really want you to spend some time looking at the software behind it that the two companies have put together that allows you to really monitor and understand your data center, your cloud, exactly what your utilizations are, exactly what's going on. It's really amazing how we put the two teams together, the hardware and software working in unison. Hans also mentioned the Open NFV platform. Intel's working side by side with Ericsson and fellow industry travelers on this Open NFV to really transform the network infrastructure as well. And this will take advantage of the server and virtualization and cloud technologies that we've discussed here this morning as well, all driving, we believe, continued industry momentum in this space. I'd like to take a second, really, and just thank Hans for letting me be a part of this morning and inviting Intel to be here and help him announce this product. I'd also like to congratulate Hans and the Ericsson team. It's really a fantastic product. It's really breaking new ground, we believe, in the cloud space and the data center. We look forward to the continued development and work here with Ericsson in the future. And Hans, thank you, and I wish you great success.
Thank you, Brian. Thank you very much. Give a big hand to Brian. So thank you very much for coming. And as Brian said, we're also very gratified by working together with such a leading company like Intel. And we think really we can be doing a big game changer here, and that's really what we're excited about. And I can tell you the next couple of days here we will have basically all our customers coming to this booth, and we will definitely talk about this solution and how we can help them to get the latest in hardware and data center that we really have, including of course all the softwares we have acquired and have ourselves, and together with our service engineers that are working with data centers all around the world in transformation. Talked about that launch that is new. We have also another launch that is new today, and that's around traffic, and that's the Connected Traffic Cloud. What is exciting with the whole connectivity in the Internet of Things is, of course, that everything gets connected. But when it's really getting efficient, when you connect all those things together. So what we're launching here today is the Connected Traffic Cloud. And that's where you actually bring all the information from all the connected vehicles and actually do something great about it. In this case, it's making the traffic system and the more intelligent for road traffic authorities. Bring all the information from all these cars in the cloud to make things being much more efficient. Avoid CO2 emission, safety, etc. That you can do when you have all these things connected. And that's where our brains are when we think about the next step of building networks. What will happen in the next step when you connect all the things into a system? This is a great example, and the first example where we put the Connected Traffic Cloud together. And what can we address? Of course, enormously things we can address. The safety, 1.3 billion people that died on the roads last year, or 2013. And of course, if we can have a much better system to handle that and getting information from the traffic authorities by the cloud is of course a very important way we can avoid cost for the society, and of course we can save people's lives. Not only that, the CO2 emission is just is just enormous in the whole traffic industry. And the great thing is, if we can steer the traffic by using it and avoiding traffic jams, etc., we can reduce this tremendously. Only in the US, the cost for traffic congestion could be up to $10 billion a year. Just imagine if we can put together these systems and these connected vehicles in order to make it more efficient. That's what we're launching here today. And of course, for us, this is the next step of the 50 billion connected devices that we talked about in 2010 for the first time. And it's really how you realize what we call the network society. So you put it all together. We of course have many other things, but the launches that I've talked about, that we are talking about here today, they're all in the different tracks around in this hall, the Ericsson hall, that our customer will be experiencing the next 3 days. This is giving us the position that we have. Basically being number one in the 4 out of the 5 areas that we're into. Number one in mobile infrastructure, number one in OSS, BSS, number one in services, number one in media delivery and IPTV, and we are aspiring to be top 3 in IP and routers. And I guess with the announcement we have done today, we're taking the next step to challenge that one. Our strength is coming from the technology leadership, the service leadership, the global scale and skill. Those are the 3 competitive advantages we have. And of course, we continue to invest our $5 billion in research and development every year. And of course, that's very important. That also creates the patent portfolio of 35,000 patents, where we are one of the most distinguished patent contributor on 2G, 3G, 4G. And of course, I'm proud to be part of an industry that actually shares the technology. There's a reason why it's over 7 billion mobile subscriptions in the world, 2.9 billion mobile broadband subscriptions in the world, because we share the same technology. We have cross-licensing with more than 100 companies in the industry. Anyone that do a mobile phone or mobile infrastructure need to have a cross-license with us. And that's of course creating the strength of the industry. And that we're doing in 4G, we will do it in 5G, in order to see that we get all this network society happening. For the analysts, and some of you recall this slide, how we now are doing our investment cycle, how we do resource and capital allocation. We have the core areas where we want to excel, improve our profitability, be even stronger, mobile infrastructure and telecom services. Here we're clearly number 1 in the world. Then we have the areas where we establish our leadership in the target areas. And remember, that second horizon we grew more than 10% last year. OSS, BSS, IP and cloud, TV and media, and industry society. The verticals we have chosen to be into. And we have the third horizon, which of course are areas where we look into in order to bring them down to be a core area over time. And you can see the proof points I've talked about now, both when it comes to what we're launching, not only that, also all the customer press releases that were launched the last couple of days. They're all sort of geared to these areas that we're investing in and supporting the way we're going. So I will just end up by saying a couple of things about this year. If I talked about last year, 2014, what will happen in this year? I can only promise you the speed will go up. The changes in the industry will go even faster. We will have more people watching streamed on-demand TV than traditional broadcasted TV this year. That's an inflection point, I can tell you. Half of all the traffic in the mobile networks will this year be video enabled, or mobile, be some kind of video. 80% growth in LTE subscriptions, some 800 million 4G subscribers this year. And I think that's low calculated of our team. I think we can actually almost reach 1 billion of 4G subscriptions this year. And imagine the speed we're moving here. More important for the society, 70% of the Earth population will have mobile broadband coverage in 2015. So it will not stand still, this world. And we will see continuous. And geared around this, you need a lot of the things that we're doing. And that's why Ericsson is changing to be relevant for our customer, giving these trends.